Good evening. Please be seated. Welcome to SCS Celebrates, an evening to honor the successes of our learners and our instructors. My name is Maureen MacDonald, and I have the great privilege of being the Dean of the School of Continuing Studies here at the University of Toronto. As we begin, we wish to acknowledge the land on which the University of Toronto operates. For thousands of years, it has been the traditional lands of the Huron-Wendat, the Seneca, and most recently, the Mississaugas of the Credit River. Today, this meeting place is still the home to many Indigenous peoples from across Turtle Island, and we are grateful to have the opportunity to work on this land. It's my great pleasure to introduce Professor Vivek Goyal, the Vice President, Research and Innovation here at the University of Toronto. He's also a professor in the Institute of Health Policy, Management and Evaluation at the Dalla Lana School of Public Health. Professor Goyal is a distinguished scholar with an extensive background in teaching, research, and university administration. Since joining the University of Toronto in 1991, Professor Goyal has held numerous academic administrative positions, culminating in his appointments as Vice Provost Faculty, and then as the university's Vice President and Provost from 2004 until 2008. During this time, he was a great supporter of our School of Continuing Studies. Professor Goyal went on to become the founding president and CEO of Public Health Ontario from 2008 to 2014, where he was highly successful in building an academic public health services agency that provided scientific and technical advice to frontline practitioners. Prior to joining the U of T, he served as chief academic strategist with Coursera. Professor Goyal rejoined U of T in early 2015 as our Vice President, Research and Innovation. He's been instrumental in growing the university's research mission, as well as the important ties to industry, serving on the boards of Mars Innovation, the Vector Institute, the Center for Commercialization of Regenerative Medicine, and so many others. He collaborated with us to design a project management program that would prepare postdoctoral fellows for leading their research labs. To say Professor Goyal continues to be a great supporter of SCS is an understatement, and we are delighted to have him here with us this evening. Please join me in welcoming Professor Vivek Goyal.
Thank you, Maureen, for that kind introduction. It's wonderful to be here this evening with all of you, staff, instructors, and most importantly, the learners, joining us from across the world today to celebrate their successes at the University of Toronto School of Continuing Studies. I'm going to begin with some distinctly un-Canadian bragging. The University of Toronto is proud to be Canada's foremost research-intensive university and a leading institution on the global stage. U of T continues to be ranked highest Canadian university and one of the top-ranked public universities globally in the most prominent international university ranking systems. U of T is also amongst the best universities in the world for graduate employability, placing 12th in the 2019 QS Graduate Employability Rankings. The School of Continuing Studies is a critical component of the University of Toronto and the reason that employers value our learners and graduates. By fostering and expanding a culture of lifelong learning, the school is a global leader for continuing education and professional development. As Dean MacDonald mentioned, I've been familiar with the work of the School of Continuing Studies for many years and can attest firsthand to the incredible change that's happened and the growth of the school, particularly in the last decade. But the landscape of continuing education is always changing. I work for Coursera, which is a leading global provider of online education. And as these technologies in Silicon Valley continue to develop their tools, we need to step up and meet those challenges. The School of Continuing Studies has found a way to take these changes in stride and turn them into opportunities, developing new programs and certificates for our learners and industry partners. The school thrives on change, using it as a catalyst to adapt, grow, and ultimately provide the best possible experience to our learners and instructors. Through the use of new technologies, the School of Continuing Studies is opening up innovative ways for students to access learning and education, right here in Toronto or from home communities around the world. The diversity of the courses, programs, and learning options offered by the school is a reflection of the diversity of all of you, our learners. You've come to us from all walks of life, with unique backgrounds and motivations. Some of you have looked to the School of Continuing Studies because you wanted to take your career in a new direction, or perhaps needed new skills to advance in your current industry. Some of you are internationally educated professionals looking for assistance in adapting your knowledge and skills to a new cultural context. And increasingly among you are new university graduates looking to supplement education acquired in your degrees with additional career-focused skills. From my current work in research and innovation, we see how new technologies such as automation, robotics, and artificial intelligence are disrupting and will disrupt our workforce and everyday work. The School of Continuing Studies is going to be a very important place to provide courses that will help you and many others prepare for the workplaces of the future. The value of continuing education in the university ecosystem cannot be overestimated. The courses you have taken provide new and different opportunities to extend our knowledge. The certificates you have earned allow us to boost our credentials. And all of you and your fellow learners expand your professional networks. I know that quite a few of you here tonight are alumni of the University of Toronto, and it gives us great pride that you have cultivated your intellectual curiosity by engaging with the School of Continuing Studies. It is because of you, our learners and instructors, that the School of Continuing Studies is so successful. You take what you have learned here out into the world. Through your efforts, you make the school into a world-class hub for personal and professional development. On behalf of the University of Toronto, I would like to thank all of you for your dedication, your support, and your invaluable contributions to our community. I would also like to thank Dean MacDonald and all of the staff of the School of Continuing Studies for making this special day possible. You've helped to make the school, the university, a better place for all. Congratulations on all of your achievements.
Thank you for your kind words and insights, Vivek. Much appreciated. This is the second year we're coming together to celebrate the achievements of our learners and instructors at SCS Celebrates. And I have to tell you, sitting up here is an enormous privilege. Not only do we get to meet each and every one of you, we also get to gaze out on your supportive family and friends who have also contributed to your success and your achievements. Continuing your education takes a special kind of dedication, taking courses in the evenings, studying at night after the day of work and family responsibilities, embarking on a topic that is completely new to you with little or no previous knowledge, connecting with new people, and developing new networks. Sometimes, in winters like ours, even getting to campus can present a challenge. As you all know, pursuing continuing education is both incredibly challenging and rewarding, and this is what we are celebrating here this evening. If you pay attention to the news at all, you will know that we're living in the reality of a dynamic world and a rapidly changing workforce. We recognize that this can cause worry. The future of work, we hear it so much. It's a buzz phrase that seems to find its way into every single news story. We hear about the impact of the digital economy, as well as the role of artificial intelligence in our daily lives, and jobs that are likely to become automated in the coming years. There's certainly an excitement in the air, but also some concern. What will happen to me, to my family, to my loved ones, when the very nature of our work and careers will change? Well, I have good news for you. You folks are already ahead of the curve. You are the people who can weather this storm and contribute positively, changing your world and the future of work. It is not just because of the technical knowledge and skills that you have acquired and developed, but because you have demonstrated your openness to change and a commitment to lifelong learning. Of course, we can't promise you the future was going to be easy, but with focus, drive, determination, and an openness to change and innovation, we have the power to collectively shape our futures. Tonight, we are celebrating both the achievements of our learners and our instructors. For our learners, this is a culmination of many hours of hard work and dedication. Completing your certificate is a significant achievement, and we are delighted that this evening's celebration, SCS Celebrates, has been greeted with such an enthusiastic response. Over the 2 nights, we will be recognizing over 650 learners, and in some ways, we're recognizing the support of the people around them in achieving this milestone as well. While we are thrilled that each of you have made the effort to be with us, we are particularly touched by those of you and your guests who have crossed international borders to join us. They have come from far away to be with us. If you see someone wearing a small blue flower on their shirt or blouse, that signifies that they have traveled across borders to be with us this evening. I encourage you to introduce yourself and welcome them to our great city and university. Recognizing our learners is only part of the reason we're here this evening. Tonight, we will honor 10 of our accomplished instructors who are the recipients of the 2018 Excellence in Teaching Awards. Our instructors are professionals who work and are leaders in their chosen fields. They bring their experience to your real or virtual classrooms to help you learn about what's happening right now and what trends are emerging in your workplaces, your industries, or your professions. These talented instructors are also committed to lifelong learning, and many of them make the same sacrifices to teach at SCS. Through pre-recorded messages, you will get to hear from all of the 10 winners tonight, and it should become apparent why you, the learners, have selected these recipients for recognition. It's also important to celebrate these award winners alongside you, because neither one of you would exist without the other. The future may be uncertain, but with exceptional instructors guiding us and the support of our family and friends, there's really no limit to what we can achieve. Our instructors and our learners are demonstrating the value in continuing to build a knowledge base, in exploring new concepts, or in challenging themselves to personal or professional growth. Let's get on with recognizing their successes.
This is always my joke at the beginning. I get to bump it up a bit. Good evening, everyone, and welcome. My name is Chrissy Collins, and I am the Director of Academic Programs here at the University of Toronto School of Continuing Studies. And I am so lucky, I mean, you might be lucky too, that I'm your MC this evening, which is the best job. It's super fun. I get to see all of your faces as you come up on stage. And guess what? I did this job last year, and they called me back. So, thumbs up, right? All right, so I'm really, really happy to be here this evening. And I just want to say one quick thing. There's lots of children in the audience, and I see the parents kind of scrambling and picking them up and rushing to settle them down. Don't worry about it. We all get it. This is continuing studies. Kids are part of the deal. So just chill. They're welcome here. They can cry, they can laugh, they can yell, they can say, "Hey, Mom," a million times. We're all for it. So that's my first note. Over the next hour, we're going to celebrate the achievements of over 300 of our learners and recognize 10 recipients of the Excellence in Teaching Awards. This is going to be a tight schedule, but my team here can tell you I am a taskmaster and we are going to finish on time. All right. So a few housekeeping items to share. Our learners are going to cross the stage in 5 large groups. As we are reading the names of our learners, we're going to ask that you please hold your applause. But as per last year, if you feel you have to hoot and holler, that is also welcome. So please do so. Once the entire group has crossed the stage, we will join together in applause. You're encouraged to take lots of photographs, but we ask that you refrain from standing during the ceremony to take photos of your family and friends, just out of respect for the folks behind you. As a 6-footer, I know this, you don't stand up. We have photographers that will be capturing photos of every single learner that crosses the stage, and sometime in the coming weeks, you will all have access to these photos on our Facebook page, and they are beautiful. The photographers are excellent. So if you can settle down and wait for those photos, that's a good thing. Also, out of respect for your fellow graduates, once you've exited the stage and received your certificates, looking at you learners, please return to your seat for the remainder of the event. And then the final note this evening is that we had planned to have the celebration in the tent following the ceremony this evening, but you may have noticed that the air was a little thick outside, and they're calling for thunderstorms at the exact time that we're meant to be exiting. So what we're going to do instead is we are going to carry on our event at the My Hall Center. Our staff will be bringing you over. It's a beautiful new engineering building, so we're going to hold the reception indoors. There are treats, there's candies, I'm not going to give it away. It's going to be awesome. So just follow the staff. So it's time for us to get down to the reason why we're here. We're going to start the celebration of your academic achievements. I would like to welcome my colleague, Dr. Gordon Davies, our Program Director in Arts, Humanities, Languages, and Translation, to the podium. He will be reading the names of our learners. I'm also on slide duty. There we go. The first group of learners we are going to recognize this evening are the recipients of certificates in the Applied Specialization in Mindfulness Meditation, Clinical Hypnosis for Clients and Groups, Foundations of Applied Mindfulness Meditation, Leadership Essentials, Life Sciences Enterprise, and Occupational Health and Safety.
Frida Clayson Jones. Fernanda Cunha Cano. Himani Datta. Lynn Elder. Fabio Fernandez. Martin Gegos. Crystal Golick. Tarane Hadjian. Wasim Hanna. Violeta Jerenich. Charmaine Johnson. Abiman Kamalswaran. Margaret Kowal. Zainab Mosadegzad. Nicoletta Mihai. Ong Li Ching. Nikhil Ratan. Danielle Antonia Saldella. Chanel Savario. Afsane Shafai. Fatma Sayed. Osama Wahib. Shayeste Saria.
Well, it's really people. I have met so many wonderful people in my travels, and because I love learning as well, it's wonderful for me to be able to help others along their journey, find out what inspires them, how they learn best, and just help them achieve their goals in life.
Well, my mother is an English teacher, and when I was in grade 5, I think I was inspired by her, and I was surrounded by books, and I decided in grade 5 that I wanted to be an English teacher and a writing teacher. And the thing that I love about teaching is the interaction with other human beings, is the interaction with students, the opportunity to share knowledge, and the opportunity to actually change lives and transform lives with that knowledge. I think 100% engagement by both the teacher and the students, a willingness to learn, a decision to move beyond one's fixed mind and to be open to suggestion and new ideas.
It would be that the learner's emotional state is critical to successful learning. So my job is to make sure that I create a really safe environment where everybody feels comfortable so that they can take the risks that are necessary for language learning. Well, I try to give them a lot of advice, but I think the most important is to never be afraid of making mistakes. It's just a natural part of mastering a language, and I want them to just try things so that I can tell them when they're right and give them better ways to do things when they do things.
Be brave, be courageous. There's always a learning period when you're trying to learn something new. To be open to both constructive criticism and to praise, and to trust yourself, have faith in yourself, and be open to learning.
But I'm going to ask you to please join me in congratulating the 2018 Excellence in Teaching Award winners Terry Compton and Ranjini George. Let's clap. It's okay. Later in the evening, we will invite Terry, Ranjini, and all other award-winning instructors to the stage to receive their awards. So we're going to run through quickly. See, I told you, Ranjini, I'm pretty strict about these things. But we will invite you up in a minute. We will now recognize the recipients of certificates in Brand Management, Business Communications, Business English for International Professionals, Advanced, Creative Writing, Entrepreneurship, Financial Analysis, Internal Auditing, Marketing, Marketing Advanced, Market Research, Multimedia Journalism, Multimedia Storytelling and Content Marketing. There's a lot of words on this slide. Next one, Multimedia Storytelling and Omnichannel Content Marketing, Nonprofit Leadership for Impact, Strategic Leadership Advanced, Operations and Supply Chain Management, Records and Information Management, Strategic Copywriting, Strategic Public Relations, and Web Writing and Social Media Communication.
Almasi Al-Kabani. Ayub Amouche. Hania Assad. David Bach. Aliyah Bailey. Florian Caffier. Nadia Rosa Cescato. Paul Chan. Maya Tchaikovsky. Sheila Eaton. Catherine Fitton. Zufan Geber. Janelle André Girard. Ella Gromek. Poonam Gupta. Mabel Ho. Feroza Khan. Manmeet Kaur. Katrina Cronfley. Linda Lay. Wei Li. Margaret Lynch. Daryl Mabini. Milica Markovic. Mala Mahabir. Catherine McCall. Lenka Oberegnerova. Marguerite Oran. Kelly Peterson. Karen Keme Pintel. David Sito. Taruna Ramnani. Dana Ramsey. Hassan. Susan Smith. Rajesh Singh. Kendra Shimin. Gordon Smith. Catherine Taman. Gordon Wong, John Wong. Shuai Wong. Tamara Watley Wisdom. Luna Wu.
Really, it's my students. On a personal level, I enjoy mentoring and coaching individuals, and many of my students come to my class not only for the lessons, but also they ask me questions around my own experience with business, with accounting, etc., which are the areas of focus that I teach. So really it is the students and helping them as they journey along their career aspirations that drives me and inspires me as an individual. I really believe that connecting real-world learning for students within the classroom creates that transformative learning experience. And how I do that is by including real-world news articles that are relevant to the materials we're covering each week within the classroom discussion. Students are exposed to business concepts that directly relate to textbook learning in a way that I believe connects and prepares them better for when they leave the classroom for the working world, basically. The key piece of advice I share with my learners is to keep their goals in mind as they work through our program, my course, the courses they have to come. By keeping that end goal in mind, I tell them that it's easier for them to focus on what their efforts are working towards in a way that if they feel frustrated at how long the work is taking or the amount of work they're challenged by, that goal should still give them the drive to get through it. Because, you know, that goal of a better life, a better job, a better standard of living for their family, whatever that is, that's an important goal to keep in mind.
Please join me in congratulating Mike Hanif and Day Jalal. Moving along to our third of 5 groups, we will now recognize the recipients of certificates in Accounting 1, 2, and 3, Management Accounting Fundamentals, Financial Analysis and Investment Management, Financial Trading and Option Strategies, Human Resources Management Essentials, Human Services Management and Leadership.
Mona Abdo. Porfirio Acosta Trevino. Taehyun An. Ali Aldamadi. Tami Amin. Morgan Cosato. Mohammed Dale. Mandu Dennis Etim. Maria Paula Gonzalez Velasquez. Maria Guada. Patience Criselda Hanyabui. Isra Hafez. Anam Khan. Kwong Suk Kim. Yup Ching Lam. Andy Lee. Karen Link Spolsky. Aisha Lone. Chantel McGee. Moshten Marka. Carolina Martinez. Ajanthini Pathmanathan. Maria Pupic. Anu Sadhu. Jenny Trujillo. Adityaman Upadhyay. Lahana Rebecca Williams. Tulio Valentinier.
I've always had a passion in teaching and education. I spent a lot of time learning Mandarin myself, so I enjoy sharing my experiences and what I've learned from my own learning journey with students. I always enjoy sharing stuff I come across, whether it's a TV series or an interesting book. Anything that enhances my own learning experience, I'm always interested in sharing with other people.
I love lesson planning. I love the content, figuring out what I'm going to teach, how I'm going to teach it, what the boards are going to look like, and how the flow is going to happen. But there is a quote from Jim Scrivener, and he said, prepare thoroughly, but in class, teach the learner, not the plan. And that to me has changed how I approach things. It's that moment in class when you are actually teaching with that individual or in the class, be in that moment. That's the critical time.
It's a pleasure to teach these students because they're so interested in the subject matter. They have a lot of self-motivation when learning, so they spend a lot of time outside of class practicing the material, incorporating in their own lives, and then they bring it into the classroom. So it makes the lessons a lot more interesting. We have a lot more interaction in the classroom, and I feel that throughout, because they're interested in the material, they take away more from the in-class learning experience.
Teaching and continuing education allows me to meet the most committed learners that you can imagine. They are there every week, 3 hours, working hard, but they have full lives. They're busy at home with friends, and yet they choose to take those 3 hours every week and really focus on their own educational goals. And that's commitment.
As with learning languages, it's important to set short-term goals to measure your progress. It's also very important to be consistent with your learning. Rather than study for several hours during one day, it's better to split up the time and study every day. That way it becomes one of your everyday routines, and it just gets incorporated into your life.
I encourage learners to bring something to the table. Bring something every class, some information, something to share, your concerns, your thoughts, your ideas, and share those. Because when we do that in the class together, we create a safe learning environment. And from there, everybody can grow.
Congratulations to Ephraim and Julie. So how are you guys doing out there? You good? You hanging in? This is the halfway point, or what I like to call halftime, in this wonderful city of the Toronto Raptors. Had to weave that in there somehow. But anyway, it's halftime. We're almost there. We have 2 groups left. And I need to advance the slides. Pardon me. So now we're going to recognize our certificates, the recipients of certificates in Digital Marketing Management, Digital Strategy and Communications Management, and E-commerce and Online Business Management.
Asif Ahmed. Carl Baines. Jonathan Bernabe. Sherry Block. Laura Boast. Jean Chow. Drashti Chowdhury. Jean's gone. Douglas Coombs. Bao Dao. Zhang Yue Deng. Inta Dukule. Zuzana Fabusova. Rodolfo Flores. Priscilla Galvan. Lisa Gaspar. Natalia Gonzalez. Irene Jellison. Angela Rita Lagamba. Annie Ma. Roshana Mahadevan. Alexandra Miguel. Syed Moin. Claudia Molina, Shkisha Shah, Natasha Pradeep, Alexandra Sandhu, Aisha Singh, Sherry Saidi, Anjali Tiwari, Simin Saqib, Ignacio Flores, Christian Karcher, Shruti Rushmin, Laura Uribe, Antoinette Scott, Gladys Miranda, Coravin Wan,
Well, when I was at university, I had a lot of really great teachers, and some of them, you know, it was a long time ago, and I still remember them today. They had a real impact on me, and I love teaching, and I just think that if I could have even a slight fraction of that impact on, you know, one of my students at some point, I'd be very, very lucky.
One where the student discovers the knowledge instead of somebody trying to feed it to them. I don't think that you can transform yourself until you truly understand what the concept is. And that's an individual endeavor. It's not something that I can give to a student. I can aid them in acquiring that knowledge, but in the end, they have to have their own aha moment.
I tell them to be bold and to take risks. Get out of your comfort zone and, you know, try something a little different. If you've never experienced it before, you may well find that it's a passion that you didn't even know you had.
That I have an expert blind spot and that it is a deficit for my students. Because I know my topic so well, I've forgotten what it's like to learn the topic when you don't know anything. I've forgotten what it's like to build a knowledge structure in your head from a basis of absolute nothing. And so when I teach, sometimes I speak up here when they need me to be teaching down here. And I have to constantly be aware of what it's like to be a student on the other side of the table and not know anything at all. I need to make sure that when I speak, I'm aware of my blind spot and I make accommodations for it.
Well, I'm a big believer in community engagement, and I feel that teaching in a continuing studies context really does allow me to sort of experience a cross-section of community views. I think that continuing education programs really do attract and reflect a true cross-section of those perspectives in any given community.
I think we live in a phenomenal country where we're allowed to transform ourselves on a regular basis, and continuing education allows us to do that. As an adult, I went back to school. As an adult, my mother went back to school when she was 42 to become a nurse. I went back to school to get a Bachelor of Education when I was 45. This country allows us to do that, and it's a phenomenal thing. So continuing education allows us to transform ourselves all the time. I want to be a part of that.
Please join me in congratulating David Tortel and Else Grecht. We are now recognizing our fifth and final group. And I have to tell you, it's kind of awesome up here because you're all smiling and it's just like so great. Like really enjoy this moment when you come up on the stage. It's quite awesome. I mean, I didn't even earn anything and I'm feeling the love, so it's pretty good. So our final group, we're recognizing the recipients of certificates in Business Management Fundamentals, E-Learning, Enterprise Risk Management, and Operations and Supply Chain Management.
Ahmed Ali. Kamran Ansari. Ovais Aziz. Samuel Baluyot. Troy D'Souza. Arash Efati. Glenna Harris. Guilherme Herrero. Renata Joantonio. Kieran Johnston. Carolyn Law. Mel Joseph Marvin Domingo. Laura Mai. Neil Merchan. Attila Mesaros. Leila Samar Baksh. Fateh Muhammad. Nauman Nazir. Philip Olateju. Tayu Uloyole. Selma Pacheco. Joan Pactores. R.J. Peterson. Ravina Rampal. Penelope Silva. Na Song. Anita Sangsit. Otto Williams. Randolph Tapia. Jason Yarmolinsky. Annetta Jarek. Wen Zhi.
To see that moment of discovery with my students, to take a subject like statistics that may have been a bit dry or may have been a bit difficult for them, and to find a way to get them to engage, that's something I never get tired of.
I teach largely because it makes me happy. When the classroom is percolating, when people are learning, when ideas are being exchanged, I feel fantastic.
The biggest lesson I've learned is that the way that I would learn something is not necessarily the best approach for my students. So I have to come up with a few ways of explaining things, making sure that they're understanding it at the level that I want them to understand it, but not necessarily in the same way that I would engage with it. So that's one of the most challenging aspects, but also one of the most rewarding.
That you're never good enough, and that's a good thing. You should always work at it. You shouldn't get complacent. When I started teaching English in a private school in the area, I was with a bunch of new teachers, and we noticed we would have one good day, one bad day. Sometimes the bad days were in inverse proportion to the good days. So if you had a great day, you had a terrible day following that. And the lesson was, you are not ever good enough. So you haven't killed it, and you have to keep working on it. Groundwork on behalf of the teacher. Letting the students know what the tone you're expecting is, how they're to approach it, the kind of things they're going to share, and how they will treat each other.
To make something transformative, you have to truly get the students to engage. You have to get them to get out of their comfort zone a little bit, to use media that they may not necessarily be used to. So in order to get them to absorb it, you have to kind of present it to them in a way that they haven't seen before. So shake things up, use a combination of different ways of explaining things to people, find a way to get them to debate and have dialogue. That's what I found to be truly transformative. The thing I always try to make clear to the students in my class is to see me as a resource. See me as someone they can always approach, always come to. It's a difficult thing to manage work, life, and school. And so I want them to see me as someone they can come to for any aspects of their understanding, and see their own other classmates as a resource as well.
I talk about failure. Everyone fails, personally, professionally, sometimes both. Failure can be transformative or it can be devastating. So I talk about it. I'm someone who's failed, and I talk about how to weather it, how to use it, how to learn from it, and how to make it a transformative experience.
So please join me in congratulating Gabriel Musso and Diane Tarana. And now I'm going to return you to our Dean, Dr. Maureen McDonald, who will bring home the ceremony.
Congratulations to all of you. Before my official closing remarks, I'd like to invite the recipients of the 2018 Excellence in Teaching Awards to the stage. We will call the award winners alphabetically by name. When your name is called, please join Professor Goyal on stage to receive your award and pose for a photo. First, Ranjani George, Creative Writing. Mike Hanif, Business and Professional Studies. Julie Reed, Business and Professional Studies. Next is our Excellence in Teaching Award for Online Teaching. Please join us on stage, Else Grech. Please join me in welcoming the recipient of the Outstanding New Instructor Award, Gabriel Musso. So we'll see that Gabriel gets his award. And our final award for the evening is our Career Impact Award, Diane Tarana. So let's have one final round of applause for the great achievements of our instructors. So you've done it. I hope you can take some time to reflect back on this learning journey and your accomplishments. While the feeling is still fresh, I encourage you to think about what's next in your learning journey. How can you build on your success and continue to thrive? As you collected your certificate, you were given a swag bag. Inside, you'll find our brand new 2019-20 calendars, which were recently released. Take some time to read the captivating learner and instructor stories. You'll find inspiration and maybe recognize a few friends. So I ask you, what's next? Take some time to figure it out over a coffee or tea using the gift card in your bag. And when you're ready for your next round of learning, use the SCS $100 gift certificate towards your next course, or with us, or share it with someone who you think might benefit from the gift of learning. I'm sure it's no surprise to hear it takes a village to stage this event. So a quick moment to recognize the teams of people that are instrumental in pulling this off. Academic and Campus Events, Academic and Campus Events Tech Support, Scotiabank Information Commons, U of T Facilities and Services, Office of Convocation Hall, Santa Guida Fine Foods. Lastly, our amazing SCS squad, a team of 25 staff members who've helped bring this event to life. Thank you. Whether you are joining us tonight to receive your certificate, or a guest, or an instructor, you've taken the steps towards being a member of the SCS learning community. I continue to be inspired by all of you, and I thank you for choosing the School of Continuing Studies. On that note, the formal portion of the evening is drawing to a close. Before we conclude the formal portion of our celebration and move to the My Hall Center for our reception, it is a tradition that these events conclude with the singing of our national anthem. I'd ask everyone, if you are able, to stand and join in the singing of O Canada, led by friend of, and hopefully soon-to-be learner, Heather Rowland.
O Canada, our home and native land, true patriot love and free.